What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel. And today's Yu-Gi-Oh news video, there are so many cards to talk about, including a new archetype coming out of Burst of Destiny, I believe is the archetype, is the set. This archetype lets you summon 3 times. It lets you normal summon at least 3 times, which is insanity. There's actually a card in the archetype that lets you summon 3 times. Crazy? Absolutely. What is that archetype? It is none other than Flundereeze, which is actually a penguin archetype, crazy enough. So I'm not gonna waste any time. Let's get straight into this video. So first up, we have Flundereeze and Penguin. I know I'm literally like looking at the cards right now, and in between the two words, you know, Flundereeze and Empen, there's like a little X. Truth be told, that's actually left as like a sign for the word ant, if you will. So that's actually pretty cool. You know, it could be that, or it could mean something else. If you're a anime fan, more so Hunter x Hunter, of course. More so Hunter x Hunter, of course. But yeah, so we have Flundereeze Empen, which is a 10-star winged beast, 2700 attack, 1000 defense. If this card is tribute summon, you can add a Flundereeze spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Then immediately after this card results, you can normal summon 1 monster. So basically, not only is it a spell or trap Rhoda, but you can also normal summon again in addition to this card's tribute summon. So being able to, again, normal summon a second time is absolutely crazy good. It's absolutely crazy good. Being able to normal summon again, go into some extra combo plays, absolutely crazy, absolutely really crazy. Second effect, while this tribute summon monster is on the field, is in on the field. What the fuck? Is on the field. Your opponent's special summon monsters in attack position cannot activate their effects. So in a way, it's kind of like a Fiendish Chain. In a way, it's kind of like a Fiendish Chain where you're able to negate your opponent's monsters' effects. The only downside is that with Fiendish Chain, your opponent's monsters cannot attack. With this, your opponent's monsters are allowed to attack. And then the third effect says, if this card battles an opponent's monster during damage cal, you can banish a card from your hand. That opponent's monster's current attack and defense become halved until the end of the turn. So if your opponent has a monster with, as an example, let's say 4200 attack, 3000 defense. That would be 2100? That would be 2100 attack, 1500 defense. Plain simple. Plain and simple. Honestly, it's not that bad. It's not that bad of an effect. The only downside is that because you're searching from your deck, you can again, Ash Blossom. Again, I've talked about this so many times with so many different archetypes over the last year, you know, whenever there's a search effect, Ash Blossom will always come into play. It is absolutely bizarre, but that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Next up, I believe that was one of the boss monsters, actually. Yeah, that was actually one of the boss monsters, but here's the second boss monster, which this is the one that allows you to summon 3 times. It's called Flundereeze Snowl, I believe it's pronounced. 10-star Water Wing Beast, 2900 attack, 800 defense. Once per turn, if you control this tribute summon card, you can activate this effect. You can conduct 3 normal summons or sets this turn, not just 1. So if you have this card on the field, you can easily summon 3. You can normal summon 3 times. That is insane. Again, being able to go full combo with this on the field is absolutely insanity. Again, the downside the downside with this one is the fact that you can easily get Nibiru. That is like the only downside. But if you're able to if you can bypass that, you should be okay. You should be okay. While this should be summoned, the second effect says, while this should be summoned monster is on the field, if your monster attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing. So basically basically the Mad Sword Beast effect. So that's actually pretty decent actually. Once per opponent's turn. Once per turn during your opponent's turn, basically. As a quick effect, you can banish a card. You can banish a card from your hand, change all opponent's special summon monsters to face down defense. So in a way, it's kind of like a Book of Moon, or rather, I guess like a Book of Eclipse, where you can set all of your opponent's monsters face down, which is really good. With Eclipse, it does work on you as well, but still. Next up, we have Flundereeze Robina, which is a 1-star Water Wing base, 600 attack, 1200 defense. First and third effects are once per turn, and you cannot special summon the turn you activate either of those effects. So first effect says, if this card is normal summon, you can add a level or lower winged beast from your deck to your hand. Then immediately after this card results, you can normal summon a winged based monster. So not only is it a Rhoda, but it's also a double summon as well. 2 cards in 1. The second effect says, if this face-up card leaves the field, banish it. Simple. If a wing-based monster is normal summoned to your field while this card is banished, you can add this card to your hand. So being able to trigger all 3 effects like within like a couple turns is just absolutely crazy, absolutely insane. Again, so the only downside again with the first effect is obviously Ash Blossom, and even also with the third effect, Ash Blossom. That's like the only downside. Plus, you can also get Solemn as well. Next up, we have Flundereeze Eaglin, 1-star Wind Weaving base, 800 attack, 1000 defense. Same thing. First and third effects once per turn. Cannot special summon the turn you activate either effects. If this card is normal summon, you can add a level 7 or higher wing-based monster from your deck to your hand, and then you can normal summon a wing-based monster when the effect resolves, of course. So again, another Rhoda, but for 7-star monsters, and then you can normal summon again. Yeah. So the effect is the effect. I think these are all the same. Yeah. So basically with Eaglin, so with Robina, I believe is his name, you can when it's normal summon, you can Rhoda a level 4 or lower wing beast monster from your deck. Eaglin lets you Rhoda a level 7 or higher, and then for this one, which is a Stretch, Flundereeze Stretch, which this one is a winged, which is actually a 1-star water wing base, 700 attack, 1100 defense. This one you can actually this one says, if this card is normal summon, you can target a card and add the graveyard, banish it, and then after the effect resolves, normal summon a wing based monster. So it's based with that effect. It's a Call by the Grave. And then for the other one, Flundereeze Tokan, level 1 Wind Wing base, 500 attack, 1300 defense. If this card is normal summon, you can target one of your banished Flundereeze cards, add it to your hand, and then normal summon a wing base. So the first effect is completely different, but the other two, but the second and third effects for all the 1-star monsters are exactly the same. Banish when they leave the field, banish it, and if a wing beast monster is normal summon while the card is banished, you can add it to your hand. So they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool effects. The only downside is that if you want to have snow on the field, you're gonna have to really commit to your board and be able to summon snow. If you're able to summon snow, you can normal summon and 3 additional times. So basically, you're allowed to normal summon approximately up to 6 times, maybe even 7 times, depending on your board. So that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. Next up, we have Flundereeze. Now for the spells and traps. So here is the field spell for them: Flundereeze and the Mysterious Map. You can only use so both of its effects are once per turn. First effect says during your main phase you can reveal a level 1 Flundereeze monster in your hand, and if you do, banish one Flundereeze card with a different name from your deck, then normal summon the revealed monster. So being able to just with that effect alone, there we go. Sorry guys, I had to move my camera for a second. So with that first effect, being able to reveal one of the Flundereeze 1 stars from your hand, and being able to banish a Flundereeze monster from card with the different name is just crazy, because it's in a way it's kind of like a 1-for-1 where it's kind of like a 1-for-1 for 1, if that makes sense. So you reveal one level 1 Flundereeze monster in your hand, you banish one Flundereeze card with a different name, and once the effect resolves, you can normal summon that one revealed monster. So in a way, it's kind of like a 1-for-1 in a way. Second effect says if your opponent normal summons a monster, you can immediately, after the card resolves, normal summon another. So yeah, so again, with this effect, with this card, you're basically able to normal summon twice, depending on how you assess it. Now for the continuous spell, we have Flundereeze and the Unknown Wind. Second effect is actually almost per turn. First effect says you can conduct a tribute summon that requires 2 tributes by sending a monster you control and a card your opponent controls to the grave instead of tributing. This is still treated as a tribute summon. So this card, with this effect, you're easily able to summon Snow. You're easily able to summon Snow. Once you normal summon, like I'll say Robina, and if you have Eaglin, in your hand, you send Robina from your field, Eaglin Robina from your field, Eaglin from your hand, straight to the grave, summon Snow. You're good. You're good, because obviously you guys know level 7 or higher monsters, you need 2 tributes. For those who are new to the game and don't know about this, level 7 or higher monsters require 2 tributes, but there are some monsters that require 3. Even though they are, like, I'll say level 10, that is indeed the case. But this card basically ensures that you're able to go full combo. And then the second effect says, during your main phase, you can reveal up to 2 wing-based monsters in your hand and place them on the bottom of the deck in any order, then draw the same number of cards. So basically, it's a recycle 2 plus 2. It's a pot of greed. Basically, it's a pot of greed, but the cost is that you have to take 2 wing-based monsters from your hand, put them in the bottom of the deck, and then draw 2 cards. That's like the only cost, but Ash Blossom, baby, Ash Blossom, trust. Ash Blossom is going to really destroy this deck. I know some people are going to say, "Oh, this deck is really good." Honestly, these are newer cards, so we don't know if the deck is going to be good or not. But now we have the traps. I believe we have the normal trap and then the counter trap. Okay, yeah. So for the normal trap, we have Flundereeze and the City of Dreams. Second effect is a once per turn. During the first effect says during the main phase, immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon a level 4 or lower winged beast monster. So again, multiple normal summons, absolutely insanity. Second effect says if you tribute summon a level 7 or higher monster while this card is in your grave, you can banish the card, change all monsters your opponent controls to face down defense. So again, it's another form of Book of Eclipse, but in trap form. And now for the counter trap, which is called Flundereeze and the Scary Sea. Counter trap, it's going to be a Solemn Judgment. If you control a face-up tribute summoned monster and no special summon monsters, and your opponent would special summon a monster or monsters, your opponent cannot summon monsters for the rest of the turn. But they can conduct 3 normal summon or sets this turn, not just 1. Also negate the summon. Negate the summon if you do return that monster or monsters to the hand. So if your opponent were to special summon, I'll say Borderlord Savage Dragon, or you know what, or rather, let's say Appaloosa. Let's say Appaloosa, for example. You flip this card up, and not only is your opponent able to conduct 3 normal summons, but the summon of Appaloosa gets negated and it goes back into the extra deck. Because if cards were to go, because if a card from the extra deck was summoned and it went back to the hand, it goes back to the extra deck instead because it's an extra deck card. Honestly, overall, this archetype is not too bad. Being able to normal summon 3, multiple times in a single turn, it's not that bad. I think the only downside, in my opinion, the only downside is the fact that you need to have, you need to have like a kind of maybe a Blackwing package or something to make this deck viable. But now with that being said, we actually do have some other cards to talk about, and it's interesting because some of these cards, because some of these cards are not only from sets like King's Court and the Animation Chronicle, which is now going to be our now called Brothers of Legend, which I don't know why they named it that. But there's also some other cards as well that I want to talk about really quickly. So let's just get straight into it. First up, from the Animation Chronicle, which is now our Brothers of Legend, which makes no sense at all. We have Wing Requital? I don't know how to pronounce that, but it is a normal spell, and it says if you control 2 or more monsters with different original names and no other wing-based monsters, pay 600 points, draw 2 cards. As a note, it says here, and for note, this is the most we've seen of this card in GX episode 132 when used by Harpy's or Birdman. Oh, that's right. Okay, so this is this will basically give Blackwings and that, Blackwings, Lyralisks, and also that Flundereeze archetype some major draw power. Major draw power. That is good. A good card. But again, Ash Blossom, baby. Ash Blossom. Next up, we have Speedroid Scratch, which is a normal spell. Send 1 Speedroid card from your hand to the grave. Add 1 Speedroid monster from the deck to the hand. So again, it's a 1-for-1. It's basically a 1-for-1. So it's really cool, actually. Really cool. Funny enough, again, as I mentioned before, these cards, the cards that we're seeing, are cards that were used by the characters from the anime. So we're seeing a lot of old anime cards that we hadn't seen in a long time. As far as Bursts of Destiny, we do have some new Magic Key support and new Sue Ship support. I think I'm going to make that a separate video. I think I'm gonna make that a separate video. Just because I don't want this video to go a lot longer than it normally does. So we are going to continue. I'm actually gonna save that. I'm actually gonna save this page, but but as I mentioned before, originally we were supposed to have gotten Battles of Legend 2021, but now it's being called Brothers of Legend, which is a combination of cards that were seen by characters like Yugi and Zane, Cyrus, Sherry LeBlanc, Yuma, Crunk, Crump. Crump was the guy's name from the DM anime, and so many crazy cards. So many crazy cards. Honestly, I don't know why they would change the name, but to be fair, I think the name Battles of the Legend may have may well have taken its toll in my opinion. Just because the last Battles of the Legend that we had, which was Armageddon, it really didn't settle too well for us. Because just because of the fact that the set really didn't do a whole lot to the meta. I know that the Numeron cards did okay for the meta, but it just wasn't there. It just was not there, honestly. So, but this set, Brothers of Legend, I'm actually curious about it. I may end up getting a box, but now we're going to be talking about even more new cards. There are actually in the Animation Chronicle, and it's actually the last of the cards, the last of the new cards. The first one is called Penguin Sword. Yes, we finally got that card of all cards. It's an equip spell, and it says can only be equipped to a penguin monster. You can only use the third effect once per turn. The first effect says the equipped monster gains 800 attack. Second effect says when the equipped monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can return a card your opponent controls to the hand. So it's basically so with that effect, it's a compulse. Basically, literally, it's a compulse. Crazy ass card. Third effect says if a face-up card or cards your opponent controls leaves the field by the effect of a penguin card, and it is returned to the hand or bench, negate the effect of that card or cards as well as the activated cards and effects on the field. A monster with the same original name until the end of the next turn. So basically, it's kind of like a form of Solemn Judgment, if you will, but in the form of an equipped spell. Next up, we have Summon Storm. This card can actually be used in fucking Harpies. Fucking Harpies, man. Come on. It says that you can use the second effect once per turn. First effect says pay 800 points, special summon a level 6 or lower wind monster from your hand. Hello, Harpies. They're wind. They're fucking wind. You can summon the wind barrier statue in defense and stop your opponent. Really? Second effect says during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the grave, you can banish the card from your grave, special summon a level 4 or lower. Again, you're basically summoning your Harpies to go into cards like Utopia Double. Cards like Samorg Bird of Sovereignty, which is an excellent card which is an excellent link monster for the Harpy deck. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now we have Toy Parade. I believe? Yeah, I thought so. This was used by, can't think of, Sora. Sora from, from the Arc 5 anime, which is obviously a normal spell. This card is always treated as a Fraper card. You can only use one effect among both effects once per turn. Target one dark monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck this turn. You can only declare attacks with that monster. Also, each time it destroys a monster in battle and sends it to the grave, it can attack again. Crazy. Very crazy. If you control a fairy monster, you can you can manage the card from your grave and add a low 4 or lower dark monster from your grave to your hand. So being able to search out your edge gems and whatnot is pretty Pretty sus, if you ask me. And I think that's it. I think those are the only 3 new ones. The reprints we have, the reprints that we're gonna see in that set. We have the Great Emperor Penguin, and then we also have number 34 Terabyte, which honestly I am so excited for. I'm excited for this set. And speaking of Crump, from Burst of Destiny, we actually have some brand new Penguin support. But I believe I think I'm just gonna. How many cards is 1, 2, 3, 4? You know what? I think I'll talk. I think I'll talk about these really quickly. So first up, we have Penguin Champion. What the hell? Penguin Champion or Penguin Luminary or Penguin Adventurer. It's one or the other basically. It's a 5-star Water Aqua Tuner, 1800 attack, 600 defense. Both of its effects are once per turn and cannot be used as synchro material except for the synchro summon of a water monster. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Maybe this could be used in the new Sardic archetype that we got in Ancient Guardians. It is possible. If a monster or monsters becomes set on your field, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you decrease its level by 1 or 2. So it's basically a Cyber Dragon, but you're able to cut this monster's level by at least 2, which is actually not too bad. You can target a face-down defense position monster you control, change it to face-up defense position, but its effects are negated unless it is a penguin monster. So if your opponent were to Book of Moon, like say the Great Emperor, the Great Emperor Penguin, you can change it to face up. You can flip it back face up, and because that is a penguin, you're pretty much golden. You're pretty much golden, basically. That's actually not too bad. It's not too bad, actually. Next up, we have Penguin Ninja, which is a 3-star Water Aqua Flip Effect monster, 1400 attack, 700 defense. Second effect is a once per turn. If this card is flipped face up, you can target up to 2 spells or traps from your opponent controls, or return them to the hand. So it's basically a different form of Giant Trunade, but instead you're targeting 2 spells or traps. So it's like a Twin Twister Giant Trunade, I guess? It's hard to say. Second effect says you can target 1 penguin monster you control, change it to face down defense position. So basically it's basically a Book of Moon, basically. So it's not too shabby, not too shabby. Next up we have Penguin Priest, which is a 3-star Water Aqua, 600 attack, 1700 defense. First effect is a once per turn. If a penguin monster or monster is sent from your monster zone to the grave by an opponent's card, even during the damage step, you can target one of those monsters, discard this card, and if you do, special summon that monster and face down defense. So being able to send this card from your hand to the graveyard to basically Monster Reborn, one of your monsters destroy one of your destroyed monsters that was destroyed by an effect, is absolutely insane. Of course, it does have to be Book of Moons, meaning it has to be set face down. But of course, off of the effects of the first one, which I'm just gonna call it Penguin Champion. I'm just gonna call it Penguin Champion. Off of the effects of Penguin Champion, the effects of Priest would be online because it's a penguin, basically. And then the second effect says, once per turn you can target a penguin monster you control, it gains 600 until the end of the turn. Also, you gain 600 life points. Not too bad, not too bad. Being able to gain 600 life points per turn, especially if your life points are low, that can actually help you out. And then the last card as far as the Penguin support, I think these might be the only Penguin cards in the set Burst of Destiny. It's called Royal Penguin's Garden, which is a continuous spell. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. When this card resolves, you can add a Penguin card from your deck to your hand, except Royal Penguin's Garden. So basically, being able to just rota any Penguin from your deck to your hand is just good. Again, Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom will hit it like it's nothing. Second effect says, once per turn, you can reduce the level of a Penguin monster in your hand or face the field by 1 until the end of the turn, and then discard a card. So, not too bad. That's actually not too bad. The Penguin, the new Penguin cards, I like them, but I'm not like high on them, basically, if you will. And as far as King's Court, I'm probably not going to incorporate this into the title of the video. But as far as the new set King's Court, if you guys remember, in the DM manga, in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters manga, Pegasus actually has a kid, and he used a deck that would counter the Egyptian gods. What are they, you may ask? None other than the Wicked Gods from Yu-Gi-Oh! R, which was the name of the manga. Dreadroot, Avatar, and Eraser. They're being reprinted in King's Court. Yes, and I believe, if I remember correctly, they were Shonen Jump promos. So they're not only that, I think the Wicked Eraser was also, or maybe Avatar. It was either Avatar or Eraser. One of them was actually a tin promo from 2013, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, that is insane. Absolutely insane. We do also have the Lost Sanctuary structure deck as well. I'm probably going to, I'll probably talk about this in a separate video, just because I don't want to take up too much time. So I'm actually going to save that as well. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Let me know in the comments below what your guys' thoughts are on the. You know what? I have an idea. Comment below. Answer the question of the day. What are your guys' thoughts on the new Flundereeze archetype? And will the archetype become a top tier meta deck? Let me know in the comments below. And that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button if you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more Yu-Gi-Oh! News videos, which gets posted every Tuesday. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to check me out on Twitter and Instagram. The links will be in the description below. And if you guys have fan mail that you want to send me and want me to open up on the channel, my address will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.